Lost campers. At the other end of the work table was a sink and a water faucet, only you didn't turn the water on like a faucet in a house, but lifted it up and down, and it pumped the water out of a tank under the long seat on the other side of the eating table. Want a drink? I asked Tom and gave him one out of the faucet. Where do you sleep? He asked, looking around and not seeing any beds. Right here, Poetry said, flopping down on a neat blue Davenport. 7 people sleep there? Tom asked with doubt in his voice. We laughed. No, just 2. See? Poetry jumped up, gave the Davenport a quick movement which made it turn a somersault, and there, as pretty as you please, was a bed wide enough for 2 or even 3 boys. All you had to do was to put blankets and pillows and sheets on it, and it'd be ready. And some of us will sleep here, I said, pointing to the dinette. This table comes out and goes underneath, and these cushions lie across it, making a nice bed for 2. And the rest of the gang will sleep outside in tents, which we'll pitch close by when we get there. We're going to park right beside a big lake where we can go swimming every morning and every night or anytime we want to. And when we're hungry, we'll throw in a line and hook and catch all the fish we want to. There are so many fish up there that they get all tangled up in your lines. Ooh, wow, that's a lot of fish. Poetry interrupted me to say, and sometimes we use red-headed boys for bait. The fish are so big. All of a sudden, little Tom Till began to look very sad. I went on showing him the different conveniences, the refrigerator, the dish cupboard, the heating stove, which was in a little cupboard about the size of a small coat closet. A big 2-door clothes closet, and a lot of storage space at the end. There were sockets for electric light bulbs and a place to attach a radio with a built-in aerial, and you could get the electricity from the car for the lights if you wanted to. All the time, little Tom looked sadder and sadder. Pretty soon, when I looked around, he was gone, out the door and down past the spring, running toward home. I saw him raise his fist up to his eyes and dab at something, which I guess were tears, and I knew that Tom wanted to go camping with us. Worse than he wanted to do anything else in the world. Here, I said to Poetry, hold the key till I get back. Like a flash, I was off down the path after little Tom Till, calling him to stop, which he would not do. He turned the corner quick, darted down a steep hill, and went underneath the bridge, where he stopped in the shade, panting for breath. When I got down to where he was hanging by his legs from one of the girders under the bridge, pretending to be doing acrobatic stunts. I liked Tom better and better all the time. As soon as I could, I told him about a promise I'd made myself last winter, and that was that I was going to try to get him to join the Sugar Creek gang. And then I told him a story Old Man Paddler had told us out of the Bible. All of a sudden he spoke up and said, I won't go to Sunday school while you're gone. Do they have any Sunday schools up north? Sure, I said. And Indians go to them. Did you ever see an Indian? Just then I heard his dad calling, and he got scared. He got a scared look on his face, turned pale, and started to climb back up from under the bridge. I was scared too, because I couldn't think of old hook-nosed John Till without remembering how mean he was. Goodbye, Tom called down to me, and as soon as I heard his bare feet running lickety-slizzle across the bridge toward home, where he'd probably get a licking for something he hadn't done. His daddy was that kind of a daddy, always giving Tom a licking before he found out for sure whether he needed it. He was not like my dad at all, who was always careful to decide whether I needed to be punished or not. And then Poetry was down there beside me, and he had a big whiskey bottle in his hand, which he held up for me to see. "Look," he said, "I found it in Sugar Creek back there by the spring. There's writing inside it." The bottle was corked up tight, but sure enough, there was some paper in it with writing on it, looking like a boy's handwriting. You still awake, bud? Looking like a boy's handwriting. Where was I? And it was what we found in the bottle that made us decide something very important. I guess we'll stop there. Buddy seems to fall asleep pretty fast lately. Have a good night, everyone. Love y'all.